Hi, and welcome to this video on the financial reporting matrix. We have a customer who made an income statement and he wanted to slice that on his departments. But when he did that, the income statement changed from looking like this to this. So it reduced the number of rows drastically, and it doesn't look like an income statement. And one way to get around that was to turn on show items with no data. But the backside of that is that you see every account in your chart of accounts. So even if your project is only using a couple of accounts, you still see all of them. And navigating in a report like that, where you filter on a department and then you have to scroll through a lot of unused accounts to find the 3 that are relevant for you, that's going to be really frustrating. So in this video, I'm showing you how to get around that using our feature called hide empty rows. So let's say this is the report, and let's add in one row at the bottom. I'm right-clicking this last income taxes row, and I'm adding a row after. And I'm calling this net profit loss, and the formula is going to be operating profit plus my net finances minus my taxes. And I'm gonna also change from the subtotal, which is the default style, to the total to make it different from the rest. Now this row is added after this, and that means it's anchored to this. So if this row is disappearing, then it's gonna drag my net profit and loss with it. And that's gonna be true for every colored row I've added earlier. You can see I've added in these rows. Now in 2019 we don't have any income taxes, so if I select 2019, it's falling out. You don't see my net profit and loss anymore. If I select department, you see some changes as well, and I'm losing a lot of my subtotals because of the data missing. So this was his problem. He said, what can I do to keep my report looking the same no matter what I select? I want to keep all my subtotals in, I want to keep all my rows in. So we said, go to your reports, your rows, and select show items with no data. And then you get everything back. And it looks good, it's stable, so whatever you select, you see the number of rows is still the same. The values are changing, of course, but not the structure of it. And he said, well, that works for this, but what if I want to add in my accounts or multiple levels on my rows? Then I'm left with my full chart of accounts for every selection. So if I choose a project with only 5 active accounts, I'm still going to see my organization's full chart of accounts whenever I expand, and that's going to drive them nuts to scroll through all of this. And we agreed, so this is not a good solution. So what we did was to add in a new feature called hide empty rows. So when you turn this on, you basically cancel out the show items with no data feature that we ticked off earlier. So now you're back to where you were before. But inside this feature, we have some extra options to help you select more detailed what you want to see. So the first one here is to always show custom rows. That's every row you create in edit mode. So now you can see my operating income is back and my net finance is back and so on. If you want the rest of the rows on your highest row level to always show, then you can go into the condition and you can type in row level greater than there we go, greater than 0. It's hiding empty rows, but only when the row levels are greater than 0. And it starts counting on 0 from the top field you put in on your rows. And the next one is going to be level 1 and level 2 and level 3. So this one is hiding every blank row on level 1 and onwards. So if I expand cost of goods, I'm only left with 2 accounts, and that's the accounts where I have values. Same with operating expenses. I only have active accounts for my selection. And it's hiding anything that's empty on my lower levels. But it's keeping the full structure of my report. That's how you can use the hide empty rows feature to make sure your income statement is stable, no matter what you select in your slicers. And at the same time, you're only left with the data that's relevant for you and your department or project or whatever you slice on. We're going to make more videos like this, so if you have any feature requests, something you want us to cover, then please let us know in the comments. And if you want to be notified whenever we release a new video, then subscribe to our channel. And that's it. Bye for now.